Submission Ready here with Tim Kennedy after the weigh-ins for UFC 205. A magical time, Tim, as you are now had breakfast. It was delicious. Quickly for the fans at home, what's a Tim Kennedy breakfast after the weigh-ins?
It's a different animal. As I was stepping on the scale, made weight, did what I said I was going to do contractually. I'm obligated to get on scale and make 186 pounds. If I'm not going to be fighting, you know, that's in Texas, that's sausage and bacon and, you know, a huge big cup of coffee with a little bit of butter in it, MCT oil blended, maybe even a splash of milk in there, you know. But watching the weigh-ins happen and looking at people that were there, I was like, I'm going to keep my game face on. So I had oatmeal, a little bit of French toast, and a couple of eggs to get ready for maybe a fight tomorrow night.
How do you feel about that? Because here you are, a guy making weight just to sort of get a show money, while there's guys with actual fights on the line, and you see Thiago missing weight, Kelvin missing weight, things are getting close. What's your mindset about... Really lately, a lot of people have been sort of missing weight. It's been kind of crazy. These early weigh-ins for Submission Ready and all the other media things have become like the biggest story of the day.
It is so disrespectful. I mean, it's so unprofessional. I can't even process what's going through somebody's head to make a choice and their choices about not making weight. Leading up to the fight, during fight camp, it's what you're eating, it's how hard you're training, your caloric intake, how much you're burning. These are all little choices that an athlete makes. That is a lazy, disrespectful asshole that's doing that. It's disrespectful to your opponent. It's disrespectful to the fans. That's Kevin Gastelum and Thiago saying, I don't care about the fans. That's what they're doing, right? They don't care about the sport. They don't care about their integrity. Because that's what it is. I signed a contract that on this day, this Friday, I will step on the scale and weigh this. That's what it says in the contract. And in return, you'll pay me. And I mean, that's the point of being a prize fighter. So now they're breaking their word, they're breaking their contract, and they're disrespecting their opponent. But worst of all, they're saying, fuck you to the fans. That's unbelievable. So in 16 years as a professional athlete, with making weight over 200 times, I've never missed weight. Because I'm not going to do that to the fans. I'm not going to do that to my opponent. But most importantly, I understand what integrity means. And I signed a contract and I gave my word that this is what's going to happen. So I feel horrible for my teammate Cowboy. I mean, we sweat, we bled, we busted our asses together out at the ranch, you know? And I mean, you can't imagine what we poured into these fights, to be at Madison Square Gardens, to be here in New York, to be part of UFC 205. And then, you know, it disintegrated for me in a different way than it did for Cowboy, both of which are just, I mean, it's painful. So my heart goes out to Cowboy right now. On the Thiago and Kelvin thing, I mean, come on, guys. Bad form.
Well, a lot of people are speculating Kelvin's a bit heavier. You're ready to fight. I mean, nothing's officially being announced. Nothing has really been reported. But if the UFC came to you and said, Tim, we've got to fight with you with Kelvin, even though he missed weight, would you still be down to do it, considering you've already made weight, you're in shape, and you're ready to go this weekend?
Man, I mean, this whole week I've tweeted every single middleweight I knew that I thought would be here in New York. Hey, do you want to do catch weight? Do you want to bring your mom in and we'll fight with bats? Whatever, just let me fight at 205. So now there's another opportunity. I haven't changed. I still want to fight at 205. You know, I'll fight Brock Lesnar if they brought him here. I don't care. Kevin, he's a tough guy. He's a talented guy. And right now he's disrespecting his opponent, Cowboy, my friend, and he's disrespecting the fans. So, you know, like, I'm still going to do what I'm going to do, which is fight. I'm a fighter. I'm a prize fighter. That's what I came here to do. So if they ask me, absolutely I'd fight him.
The other option, of course, we saw Jacare just moments ago, literally minutes ago, make weight. Is there anything you can tell us about whether that might be your opponent tomorrow night?
Because apparently, from what we've heard, and you don't have to confirm anything, there were some issues with medicals, and he was here to fight, but the issues with medicals is what stopped it. No chance really of that happening this weekend.
For me or for him?
For yourself, or maybe for him? Well, just give us an overall, your thoughts on the whole picture.
I don't know what I can say. I'm ready to fight at UFC 205. If I'm gonna fight Jacare, if I'm gonna fight Yoel, if I'm gonna fight Chris, if I'm gonna fight Gastelum. I came to New York to fight. I'm still wearing Reebok stuff.
Which is, it looks nice on you, but that's a miraculous feat all on its own. Let's just quickly finish on this. You said, because we don't want to get you in trouble, and obviously you're a great friend of the program. You mentioned Kelvin disrespected your teammate, disrespected the fans. If you did get this fight with him, because who knows what's going to happen in this crazy world of MMA, is there just a little bit of ill will towards him after this situation happened?
I fight the same. You put Bin Laden in there, Saddam Hussein in their prime. I'm gonna tear their arms off and beat them to death with them. If I'm gonna fight Kevin Gastelum, he disrespected my friend or the fans. It doesn't change anything. I'm gonna tear his arms off and beat him with them. Anybody that fights me is gonna have a rough night. This has been a great fight camp, and it doesn't matter who it is. Who's a heavyweight champ right now?
Steve.
No, that's a great fight. Cool, I'm down for that. Who's light heavyweight champ? Daniel Cormier. I'm down. Is he in New York? Is he available? Michael Bisping, middleweight champ? I don't care.
Bob Sapp might be around for a super heavyweight fight.
Dude, I'll do that. I'll tie an arm behind I swear, I would tie my arm around my back and fight Bob Sapp. So I don't care. I just want to fight. And you're gonna get a performance out of me.
While we're speculating here, let's say you do fight Kelvin Gastelum. Obviously, you're a gamer. You say you just want to fight anybody. How would you see that fight going? Because obviously you're preparing for Rashad. Kelvin's a different guy. How do you see that fight going?
How different are they? Yeah, he's a southpaw. Instead of throwing those looping overhands and those double rights with dip powerful left hooks like Rashad, essentially they're heavy-handed wrestlers. So got to be ready for the takedown and being mixed up with strikes. So preparation-wise.
Last question, and we'll let you go. It's been an interesting, I suppose, 24 hours, 48 hours for you. A little bit of emotion. You're a cool guy. You don't get rattled or anything like that. But now there's again possibilities of you being on the card. Mentally, how has this process been for you? Now you've got to sort of sit around, wait around, and see what happens for the next, I suppose, few hours as well. Are you getting to that point where you're like, oh my God, what's going on this week? And how much more do I have to go through here mentally and physically before I figure out what the hell is happening?
If a guy on this roster is best suited for these type of mental stresses, that's me. There's no bombs going off. There's nobody, there's no bullets flying through windows. I'm not bleeding. My friends aren't screaming. This is a fight. This is a sport. Do guys get stressed out on golf courses? Yeah. It's still just a sport. And to me, it's just a sport. So, I don't care. I'm still very laser focused on what has been and what hopefully might be a possibility, which is a fight on Saturday night.
Well, there you guys go. It's exciting times here. If you're Tim Kennedy, the man of the hour this weekend in New York City, we can't wait to see what happens to him. Thank you so much for your time.
Thanks, guys. God bless the fans.